people like Andrew Tate and Tucker Carlson, they are just serving one purpose in the awakening because they're stirring the pot. Whether they actually have good intentions or bad intentions, that's neither here nor there. If you look at what they're doing, they're stirring the pot and they're getting a lot of people to think. So it serves a somewhat positive purpose. But then you have people like them and let's say Jordan Peterson, for example. He says a lot of things that are true, but then he also says a lot of things that are unhelpful. And I would know that for a fact because a lot of women come to me and they're like, my husband read a Jordan Peterson book and now he treats me like shit. Right. And interpretation determines behavior. We always hear perception dictates reality, but interpretation determines our behavior and how we interpret what's said, especially if it's said in an aggressive tone, like Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, and things like that, Donald Trump, we start acting like a fool too. We emulate common behavior by default. And what happens to people is that when we take in so many chemicals and it's in the water, it's in the food, the fruit, the meat, caffeine, sugar, all that stuff, it weakens our inner sensibility. It weakens our ability to listen intuitively to what's going on and feel the energy of somebody and see that there's something going on. From a person like me that has for years been completely clean off of certain things. I'll eat cookies and pizza with the kids every 6 months or so or something like that. But I'm mostly just in a constant state of detoxification. Um, my thoughts are very clean and I have no desire to be led by anybody else. Those things weaken your sensibility. So what happens to people when they come out of the so-called matrix and they take a step back? They can see that Tucker Carlson only serves one purpose, and that's not necessarily a negative or a positive one, but they don't really care about what he has to say. Um, you can look at Andrew Tate and see that he's just a big bald baby that gets something out of being rude and inappropriate. And the same is true for Jordan Peterson. If you look at what people actually produce in their lives, you can see that he's not stable either. He goes around talking all this stuff about people that he is done in a way as though he's an expert on something, but within the past couple of years, look at what happened to him. He was hooked on I think it's Ambien or something like that. And he came out crying and he's like, "Oh, give me a break. I fucked up, guys." It's like, yeah, if you understood, Jordan, anything that you were saying, you would never have put that medication in your mouth to begin with because it's about consistency. If you know your values and consistency is one of your values, which it should be, regardless of what your other values are, because you need consistency and congruency. Congruency is the ability to do what you say you're going to do with integrity and follow through with it every time consistently. When you value those things, you would never ever make a mistake that's as silly as that. And so if you watch how these people behave and you can see what their values are because everybody wears their values on their sleeve, right? So I think that to answer your question, that was a really roundabout answer, but one of the first things I work on with somebody is what are your values? Because when you ask people what their values are, most people actually don't know more than two or three values. They haven't gone through an entire list and they can say definitively my values are compassion, empathy, consistency, congruency, integrity, uh, reliability, etc., etc., etc. Anything can be a value. And the scary part is that most people they never choose integrity as one of their top three values. Without integrity, everything else falls. Integrity should be your number one, the ability to do what you say you are going to do, when you say you are going to do it, at the time you said you're going to do it, with fullness of spirit and every bit of your character in check, whether you feel like doing it or not. Right. So it's, I guess that's how we get trapped because we're looking for leadership when we don't feel like we don't have the answers. But this is very new agey. All the answers are within you. but it's a continuous journey of looking every single day, every moment of the day, checking in with yourself and saying, okay, I have the answers. I don't need to research this. I know the answer to this. Intuitively, I have that answer. Also, if you read a lot, if you want to really develop yourself, don't look to a personal development guru. Find books on the topics that you're passionate about. You know, self learning, because learning never stops. But if you direct your learning after the age of schooling and you move it in the direction of the things that you know are going to help you strengthen your psyche, you're in a better off position than the majority of other people out there that are going to be scrolling through their death rectangle looking for answers on Instagram. Nobody on social media is trying to actually help you. They're trying to make a buck off of you, right? Including me. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
I've seen your Instagram. It's amazing, your Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I That's why I don't have a big following because I'm actually trying to get people to critically think. I'm trying to give them the information that they won't get from an Instagram reel. That's why I don't really make reels. I want people to that's everything my posts they all kind of look like stickers and stuff where it's like very small bits of information. I hardly do long form captions because I don't want to confuse people. I want to give people an idea that is true and have it in your face right there. So you can take that one bit of information, if that's the only thing you read for today, and you can self reflect on that. Self reflection is key to any path of growth. And the more you self reflect, the more likely you are to arrive at the right conclusions.